Hello everyone and welcome to Season 19 Champion Ladder Run. This is the first match of the season and we're playing with High Elves. As you may well have seen in the preview video, we're running with 2 blitzers and 1 catcher, the rest linemen down to 11 and 3 team rerolls. I've gone for a nice autumn grape purple colour for the team this season. I think it looks quite nice on High Elves actually. Up against us in the first match of the season we have D Sharp, who also watches us on this stream. So hello D Sharp, and he's playing his Norse team. This team had actually played a game going into the match, so as soon as we get to the kickoff screen I'll just have a quick look. So D Sharp has won the fame there. He's also got an apothecary, but he's only got 11. And we've got 50k and we've got a babe as the inducement. Up against us we've got 1 Mighty Blow player, so he's levelled up 1 player, and it's Berserker with Mighty Blow. And going into this actually worried me quite a bit because that player could shred the team, and it would mean that we'd have a problem with no apothecary. Any removals are bad from a casualty point of view, and he's got 11 plus he's got an apothecary. So first thing to talk about actually is while he's setting up, let's just get rid of that, is to talk about this setup, because this is a bit weird. You guys might not seen me do this before, so we'll just pause this for a second. And the thinking behind this is that the High Elves are a little bit more speedy than he is, broadly, and we're also a lot more mobile because I've got the 3 rerolls. I don't mind rerolling dodges, and so we'll set the line of scrimmage, and then all these players here can come up and push forward. So if this space here is undefended, I can then sweep round, and the kick is going to go in sort of one of the 4 segments. It's going to go over here, or over here, over here, or over here. And if it goes into any of these 3, I'm quite pleased with that, because it means that I can put some pressure on the ball early. So that's the reason for that. I know it's leaving this side undefended, but if he gets a short kick or chooses to come down here, what that does is it plays into where the Norse player really wants to play, which is the sidelines. And I'm fine with the Onan playing down the sidelines, as it's one of my favourite bits about the whole game. So that's why I did the setup. We've protected our 3 positionals, and the rest are linemen. So we'll let him finish setting up. When he's finished, we just quickly talk about what he's gone for. Now, I think he's done at that, so we'll kick it off, and before he rolls too many dice, we'll see what happens. So he gets a quick snap, he gets to move everyone a square, so let's just take a pause for a second. Now, this setup, I wasn't really paying enough attention at the time, but this setup is clearly someone's been watching too many streamers play games, and what he's looking to do here is hit this guy, push him in here, get the follow-on hit, push him in there. This guy can then punch him here, and then the Ulf winner can just sweep him off the field. So I like that. D Sharp using frenzy potentially to its most effective, and potentially getting me surfed. So that would be the weakness of this setup, that I am open to getting surfed. Let's just see what happens. But from a kickoff perspective, really pleased with this kickoff here. It's quite nice. I would have preferred a little bit further out. But yeah, had we got perfect defence, 2 of the line screws wouldn't have got a hit at all, and 1 had only got 1 hit. So I could live with that. If I was D Sharp, I think I would have wanted to defend these squares here. So goes for the push, gets the push. Uh-oh. Still 2 dice. Luckily for me, doesn't knock him over. However, it's with Mighty Blow. Okay. Now, this team has been remade. This is the 4th occasion I've played this team on a first game, because in the first 3 games, which were streamed earlier this week, the team just got obliterated 3 times out of 3. So I just want to just remind everyone of that. I obviously know that's coming. And yeah, I was like, second block, great, casualty. Oh god, this could be a long hour and a half. But we're playing against Norse, and Norse is just as prone to going bang as we are. So I thought, yeah, let's stick with it. We've still got 3 concessions in the bag for this season. No, yeah, 3 concessions in the bag for this season. So let's not do anything preemptive just yet. He's gone for the cage. This move here from from D Sharp. I'm just going to say that to him. I said it to him at the time, but I don't want to give someone tips during the game. Is that this is a slight downfall. I know he's put the position, so it's 2 dice into 2 dice. But if he gets a knockdown here, he's leaving the Ulfwinner based against one of my players, which means that I get a free hit back. So wherever possible, really you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be giving away a hit. You'd be better off just using the lineman pretty much, because the linemen don't get based at all, because there's no situation on the block dice which will leave you based. He's a little unlucky there. He rolls looking for a 55% play for 2 dice knockdown. Doesn't get it. Uh-oh, ball's on the floor. Re-rolls it. He gets it safe, and he's obviously done the square counting, so that's a good play. He's got the ball nice and safe. Wouldn't have done it myself because I've only got 11 players. So I'm just going to pause this because there is actually something I do here, which is something you guys should look out for. I wouldn't have fouled there because if he'd got sent off, he'd have had 10 players. I get what he was trying to do. He's trying to leverage his advantage, because if he gets another player off at this point and doesn't lose his guy to being sending off, he's 11 versus 9 and very much in control of the drive. So I'm just going to pause this for a second, and let's see if I can bring up my new tool that we've brought in. There it is. So what I've done here is I've filled in this square here, and the point of this is that this guy here can come in on this angle and blitz here, and then if we get the knockdown, I can push into this square, freeing up the line elf to go over here, not having to dodge out. If, however, we don't get the knockdown, oops, still loading this tool, I can push into this square here, pushing this guy out of the way over here, and getting a follow-on block with this elf. And the point of that is that what I'm trying to do is maximise my blocking efficiency, and because they're armor 7, they break 1 time in 3, so let's keep rolling armor dice on them and let's see if we can knock some of them over. So this is chain blocking and trying to find additional blocks on the turn, because you can probably get the rest of this off positionally. It's all going to be okay. This was a little bit dangerous because I have to follow this up, because otherwise I get surfed. And it is giving me a block, giving a block away. So it's an armor 8 block for an armor 8 block. It's alright. And you'll notice that what I'll do is I'll screen off this side of the field, and I'm going to present him to go down this side, because I want him to go over here. So we get the knockdown on the first one. That means I get my elf back and don't need to do anything. And who's a lucky Andy? He gets himself a casualty. Whee! Hide the positional where possible. Bring this guy into about here. Stand this guy up, and probably leave that guy there, because then I've got a block being applied. And then the last thing to do is just bring him somewhere useful. He's of no use over here, so we may as well go this way. Not blitzing with the mighty blow. I thought he would base this guy up and blitz the mighty blow here. Was quite pleased that that didn't happen. AV break, but crucially still on the field. And this was going to suggest that he's going to come over here. Zunk is stunned. Just bear in mind how many times Zunk gets stunned. Armor broken. That's one for the YouTube series, really, rather than anything else. I would like to see someone go in this square here just to take the armor hit. But he doesn't. At that point, standing this guy up really is just giving me a hit. And at this point, I know it's the start of my turn now. Let's just get rid of the turn timer. There we go. Right, so you can see me moving this guy. And what I looked at is I've got 4 elves here. I've got 4 elves here and an elf here. This guy's stunned. So where does he want to go? He wants to come round here. That's where he wants to go. And so what do we not want him to do? Go over there. Now, I looked at this for the first maybe minute and a half, and I went, well, I could fill that square in. I could hit this guy. I could push him along. Then I could hit this guy, then I could hit this guy, then I could blitz him off. And I thought to myself, what am I doing? Be careful. The first thing you're about to do is use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players and leave yourself 3 players against all of his Norse. That takes it off the table. I'd love to serve him, but it takes it off the table. So the next thing I looked at was that what you've got here is you've got a little box to play with. Oops. Sorry, 1 second. You've got a box to play with in these squares here. Should have drawn a box around this. And if you can make that a box, what you can then do is take this guy, you can hit this guy here, who chain pushes into here, who then chain pushes into here, and he ends up in this square. And without using my blitz, I've got 2 hits on the on someone. And the next thing I can do is probably hit this guy because there's nothing else to hit. And that means that I get 3 hits in this turn, traded off for no counter hits back. So that's what I'm looking to do. Now if we don't get the knockdown, I can always just blitz this guy, and I'm left no one base contact. So I was thinking about that. And this guy moving here was just in case we don't get the knockdown. I can still blitz him, but we get the knockdown. And we get the armor break. So I'm definitely up on armor breaks to knockdowns at this stage. Definitely. But that makes it 10-9 my favour, and I'm defending. So I've got all of my players to move around, and he's got to keep one of his players holding the ball. So the remainder of this turn now is positionally, don't let him come over here. And that's what these guys are there for. Double basing, so he's got to run all the way around the edge. Catcher comes across, because I don't want him to go over there. Because I'm strong over here, I've got 4 players. Hit this guy, and then just go back to where I came from. Again, the push in that direction is to push him that way. I didn't remember he got the knockout. Because I want him to come into the where we're strongest, and not where we're weakest. So he's now in real trouble. And if with a little bit more pressure from me over the next couple of turns, we can really start to do stuff. So I like the fact that he does the mighty blow hit. He makes sure he gets the follow on. The downside to this move is that he can't protect this guy at all. He probably he couldn't have pushed there and then stood in that square. So I can stand in one of these squares and punch. So because he's so many players down and this guy's out of the game, he has to do this. There is no other real play. And he tries to dig the Ulf Werner out to come and be in the centre. Now there are two things I was looking at in this turn. Oh, go away. There we go. Right. So 2 things I'm looking at this turn. The first is there's a discovered hit on the ball carrier because the cage corner is based, which is actually you can't do it that way. I was thinking about trying to chain push him in there. You can't do that. So never mind. We'll just do the thing I actually do. I'm going to let this play out actually. So push the cage core out of the way, pushing it into one of my players who's based. That's great. Step forward here and then get the hit. If you get the knockdown, you can come in from this side if you want to. If we don't, then we've got 1 dice on the ball if I so want it. And in real time, I actually thought about this for ages and ages. The clock's on about 20 seconds at this point. We look out, we get the POW. So that's a 5+. 5+ no reroll, so it's 33% of the time we're going to get that. Ball does square in pretty much the worst possible, scatter in the worst possible square, but this is the turn to go base everything. With 2 players up, this isn't going to do anything. I didn't like this base here. This was not ideal for me because I've left Ulf Werner hit armor 7. Yeah, I didn't like that, but do you know what? I had to leave the catcher till last. Because he isn't going to reform the cage. No matter what happens here, this ball is not going back inside a cage. Does not matter. It is not going inside a cage. So he's got the ball back on a player. And he failed to dodge. Honestly, at this point, I think I probably would have preferred the 2+ action there. Because he's got block and I don't. So only a skull hurts. But the damage has been done with those KOs here. Scything through Norse armour, and the point of doing that hit was that if we do get the knockdown, I've now got a 2 dice on the ball opportunity. And I'll just pause for a second because I want to just talk about what I was looking at the time, which is that this guy was looking at hitting this guy here, the trouble with that move is if we don't get the knockdown, I lose my 2 dice on the ball. So I kept looking at that thinking, great, what we could do is we could block here and follow up, then we could block there, and then I can have 2 dice, push this guy here, and have 2 more dice here, and blah 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 blah. But it all kept going back to this, but if that's not a knockdown, I'm fucked. So don't do that. And I think I end up just going for the straight simple move, because if I don't get a knockdown this turn, I'm going to have another chance next turn. That armor break absolutely sealed my decision, because I'm now 4 players up. He isn't digging himself out of this. No matter what happens now, he's not. 5 players up. Yeah. Elf catches ball. Wolf runners down. Now this is just about... all we're doing now is we flip into a different mode, which is who's the right elf, who do we want to score with? And as we discussed in the preview video, the right players to score with at this moment in time are the blitzers, because getting them to blodge is very important, and trying to get some points on the catcher so he's got dodge, so he's a little bit more mobile. So that's all I'm thinking about now, is can we give the ball to a blitzer, throw the ball a couple of times, score with the catcher, blah 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 blah. Now, ordinarily you'd see me go score here quickly, but these are all KOs, and we're 10 plays 10, and he's only going to have 1 shot on the KO recovery if we score on our 8. So there's no way I run this ball in early. We either don't score, or we definitely don't run it in early. All you'll see now is me maximising the hits, trying to just go after more casualties. Have I somehow turn the skills off? No, that's alright. That wouldn't be a preview video without a yawn, would it? Okay, another KO. A hit there because I've got block. Only double skulls cocked me up. Double skulls. Okay, but he's so many players down at this point. It isn't. This is fine. The only way I don't score is if I roll a double 1 on turn 8 or something, probably. So he gets the ball, but he can't make it safe. This is a good turn from him, actually, in terms of he manages to get the POW. The position is good. This is unlucky. However, by doing that action first and getting that result, it did mean that he could do this result here. 2 dice into 2 dice. Otherwise, it would have been 1 dice into 1 dice. And I've now got to move this. This is annoying. At the time, this was just irritating because it's a strength 4 player, so it requires a bit of effort to get it off the ball. So we've got 2 dice there, 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 2 dice there. So you can hit them all and knock them over. So that's we should be able to knock over every single Norseman at this turn. This is the mighty blow one. Just a stun. Choose to follow that up because it means 2 players to 1 player in my favour. Don't get a knockdown there. We can blitz here and not follow up and then stand him over here and bring this guy around. And then the catcher can pick the ball up. I think this guy, I should have stood him here because now I've got I've got to follow this up, and it's not great dice wise. So the catcher can go fetch ball. I was like, well, screw it, throw the ball. So we do. Turn 7 from him is blitz dodge on a 4+. Even with a reroll doesn't work. That's a little bit unlucky. 3 times in 4 that works. And all we're doing now is scoring a blitzer. So put a blitzer over here someplace. Whichever one I don't know which one to go for. Give the ball to the catcher. The catcher throws it to the blitzer, and that puts the catcher on 2-star player points. And this blitzer would be on 5-star player points. which means at the start of the next half, the blitzer throws the ball to the catcher, who throws it to someone else, putting the catcher on 3, and the catcher can go score, and that levels both players up, which would be a fantastic result after the first game. 2 players potentially with dodge. So, maximising blocks. Note this guy's got jump up, so let's not leave him a free jump up hit. But I'm fine with him standing up, because if he stands up, we've got way more elves, and we can get to go and punch them. So being a greedy little so-and-so that I am, I choose to go for the throw. So that gets the ball. That's a random star player point on a lineman, which the game hasn't picked up on this. There we go. And he chooses not to stand anyone else up. That's good. That's actually good from the Norse coach that he doesn't stand anyone up. Because if I make this without using the reroll, I am going to go and punch him on the head. So both down or no balls. Bad for a high elf team. Score. And there was a cheeky throw in there on turn 8 as well. So depending on what we get back now, it will depend on the next half strategy, whether we choose to go score quickly or really quickly. So he gets 3 out of 5 back. Pretty much on the money, isn't it? So he's 2 players down, and those 2 players are an Ulfwerner and a random lineman. So I'd like to score in about 3 turns. It'd be 2 turns is just rushing it and wasting passes. 4, 5 turns would be okay, but 3, 4 turns would be ideal here, because it should be a turn for passing on the catcher, a turn for passing with the 5-star player point blitzer, and then a turn to actually score with the catcher, so 3. And what that should then do is, if we do score and we get the opportunity to turn him over again, then the Overlord, which is the blitzer on no points wherever he's gone, can then try and steal and score, thinking that we can then start thinking about levelling that player as well. High kick. Well, we're going to send the catcher under that then. And catches it, because he's a catcher. So, before I do anything, just a point of reference here. I do not want to give away my line of scrimmage blocks. And the reason I don't want to do that. But I am not prepared to throw a D6 roll and move this guy as my first action and throw the ball, because if I do that and I roll a 1, I'm almost obliged to re-roll it, because I'm not giving away my line of scrimmage hits. However, I don't want to roll 1 in 9 into 1 in 9 and then get surfed, and this game go from being completely fine to being ruined just because I'm a bit lazy. So what I'm going to do here is stop the guy getting surfed by physically standing in this square, and then just sort of screening the rest of it off. Yes, he can hit me, but it's then unlikely that he can recover the ball and make safe. So that's what these moves are for, is to stop this catcher getting absolutely crushed. That's what they're for. Now we can do this. Please turn the wrong way around, because I haven't got a block with block. So we get away with that. That's fine. And a KO result. So Norse armour absolutely folding again. Triple skulls. And I want to move. The reason I don't push him here for the free hit is because I want to throw the ball this turn, and I need someone to throw it to that's back here. So this guy can then stand over here, and then we throw the ball, because that's a 1 in 9 fail, and this is a big bad horrible mess if it goes wrong. So there we go. Sarah's got the touch, the throw, puts her on 3-star player points. So good on you, Pat. And we roll a double skull. However, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So unless he wants to dodge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, unless he wants to dodge through tackle zones, ball safe. I'd love to say that I actually thought about that when I moved the player. And on a replay analysis video, of course I can. So I did. So there. If anyone bought that, they did fall off a Christmas tree. Good play using the mighty blow. And I like that. I always think of it as pivoting around a central point. So coming on the diagonal and pivoting round is fine. He's done well there. Boy, done good. Block player. So I had the choice between a non-block player hitting diagonally for an additional hit, or block without the additional hit. And at this stage, I took the block. Note that the catcher now needs to be in scoring range at the end of next turn. And this turn, he needs to throw the ball to said catcher, ideally. So this turn's a little bit loose from me, if I'm honest. It is a little bit naughty. And we have just used the reroll. Should have stood this guy up first. Really should have stood that guy up first. I'm not happy with that. And worse than that, I still don't stand him up and throw the ball up on a 1 here and a fumble. And I'm actually in a little bit of trouble because I could fumble it here and stuff could then happen to me. So that wasn't ideal. But that means that the Mag Smash, the Blitzer, is now levelled. And by standing up and basing here, this guy's not going anywhere. One of these two is not going anywhere. This guy's not going anywhere. And really, we should just be able to walk this in next turn. So everything's going according to plan. Because it doesn't matter what the Norse do. Whatever they do, this catcher is going to go in this square here, or one of these squares, and everything be fine. On that, I would have liked to have seen him blitz with the mighty blow, which would have turned into a KO actually. But it sucks. The Norse guy being players down is just hard work. So get him a hit. I've actually got to make a go for it here, so this is a little bit naughty. And I think there's another hit somewhere there. Yeah, there it is. So we'll do the hits with block, but I'm not doing anything else because I know I need to do the go for it. And I'm also sat on 1 reroll. If I walk this in and score, we're probably golden. I'm just tagging players out just in case. There we go. So that's the thrower. Sorry, that's the catcher, and one of the blitzers levelled. Broadly, this is going really well. This is going really, really well. Just not something I was able to say on the stream on the other day when I was streaming the High Elves. 2 out of 3 KOs back, so he's had slightly better favourable odds, but that's traded against the fact that his arm has been absolutely abysmal for the whole game, so don't begrudge him that at all. And I don't want to get myself surfed, so I'm hoping I move some play. Oh, what? Don't learn from your mistakes, Andrew. Fucking hell. So these guys should have been moved. They should be sat somewhere across a bit more. And he's got a free reroll. But the ball's gone nice here. And notice that this time round, these guys are protecting the blitz here. I can't really get through, not unless I'm prepared to throw 3+ dodges without dodge. I do only have 1 reroll, so it's unlikely I'm prepared to do that. So I like this square here. If you're thinking about how to protect yourself from a blitz, putting normally 2 players in these 4 squares between them will cover you off. I like the 2 front squares because I'm aggressive, but the diagonal is fine. It's just fine too. Blow. Not a thing this time. Now by moving this guy across, he has made himself a bit of a gap. And this guy is a little bit exposed now. And I would like to see some cover being brought in for this guy. So where this guy would need to be was sort of back here. Because I blitz through here, all fail, and let's just get rid of the turn timer. So let's just pause this for a second and take stock of the situation tactically. So he's got 4 players here which could, in theory, receive the ball. He's got 1 here. What I want to do is I want to go on pressure without directly pressuring the runner and make him have to do something. And I have to admit, looking at it right now, I don't think I do a particularly good job of this turn. So I'm going to talk about what I should have done rather than what I actually did do. And we're going to use the help of paint, I think, on this occasion. These 4 players in these squares here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. God, my paint skills are awful. Sorry, everyone. Need to be faced up. So I need to put players in these squares. And I need to just tag them out for one. And the reason I should tag them out 1 for 1 is that, yes, you can open with a 1 dice, and then you can have 2 dice or everywhere else. But he's got to use all his players to get these guys out. So really, these 3 players here really should just go into these squares here. This guy can then come around here, and then I can then punch through here and start putting a little bit of pressure on, while at the same time, yeah, getting my free block here. That's what I should have done. Obviously, because I didn't. We're talking about it now. That's not what I actually end up doing. But that's what I should have done. This, ladies and gentlemen, is how to make a complete mess of something fairly straightforward. So, still haven't put anything in one of these squares. Notice how easy is this to block through, leaving this guy completely available to receive a throw or a whatever else. And I think at the time I think, oh, that's quite a nice move. Well done. It's fucking awful. This guy needs to be there. This guy needs to be there. Keep thinking that square. Maybe it'll change on the replay. Nope. So decide to go and put more pressure on the ball. Don't know why. Don't need to. Don't need to. Because what's he's going to do? He's going to do pick the ball up, give the ball to this guy. This guy's going to go over here. That's what he's going to do. So completely free dude. These are movement 6. These are movement 6. Does pick the ball up. It should go for it, which makes the pass shorter, so it's 3+ into 3+. Uses the re-roll though to make the catch. Now you could arguably actually end up keeping the ball here at this point, throw in the block, throw in a 1 dice, and you'd be fine. He's unlucky there. So I'm thinking, happy days. Blitzer, where are you? The one that's on no star player points. Where are you? Because we know we're not going to lose the game now, because there isn't enough time for him to run in and score again. So I know the game's mine. It's now about, can I score a 3rd one, and can I get it on the right player? So this guy comes across, and the reason I'm bringing this guy back is because I want to try and throw the ball to him and make it a bit safe. And it's also 3-star player points. And this, of course, is where the blitzer is. So that's 2+ dodge, 2+ go for it, 2+ go for it, 2+ pick up, 2+ throw, 2+ catch. Do make all of them in the end, which I think I'm a bit fortunate with. And I think I'm a bit carefree considering I've only got 1 reroll here. In hindsight, maybe not the best play. And then this guy needs to go and stand over here, and he needs to be 7 squares away from the end zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh dear, Andrew, you made yourself having to go for it. Just increase the level of difficulty. It's because it's going too well. We just make it harder. Honestly, don't do this at home, folks. Would have liked to see more blitzes with this guy during the course of the match. Isn't blitzing enough. Rolls a 1 in 9 with an Elf. Because he's short-manned, it doesn't matter what he's going to do here. Because unless he stands in, well, it doesn't matter where he stands. In fact, he stands there, I dodge out. He stands there, I dodge this way. And this is a nice easy counter, which is blitzer come round, clear this guy off. I can throw to this guy, you can hand off to this guy, you can walk it in. Easy peasy. Bonus casualty. The only bad blotch on the copybook here would be if the catcher Sarah manages to fluff the dodge, but she doesn't. Well done. She does, however, manage to fluff the throw. I choose to throw the reroll at this. Probably shouldn't have done, actually, in hindsight, because the rest of this move is quite risky. Let's just do that. Because I haven't tagged this guy out. So that's a little bit poor on my behalf. And I think, well, things are going well. Let's just push it. And then he runs. So that's a touchdown on the blitzer that hasn't scored anything. So we've now got 6 points on one blitzer. I think 8 actually, because he got casualty. 6 points on a catcher, 3 points on a blitzer. And a couple of star player points scattered on random linemen. So the Ulf doesn't come back. And this setup, I will just quickly explain this while he sets up. If I can, I want to try and score with this blitzer again. I've only got 2 turns, it isn't very likely. But if I set up back a square, I've got to make additional go for it. This, that's 13 squares, that's 14, so he's got to make a go for it to score. No one gets a reroll. He's on his one reroll. Does pick the ball up, which is quite important, because if he didn't pick the ball up, we were in. We were absolutely in. Whether we got it without a reroll, who knows? But it would have been a big opportunity. Aging up. I don't think this was the right blitz in hindsight, because if we just pause this for a second, now he's got no rerolls left. So D sharp, just think about that blitz for a second. So you've gone in and you blitzed here. That's great. So you can block there, but then you're ending up, you've got to do that as a 1 dice. I think, for me, this guy comes over here, and you sacrifice your blitz this turn, and you can block there, and then you can still block there. And that for me would have been the play. So, because if that was a skull, I'm in. But yeah, the result was decided a little while ago. So I guess I can see what's happening there. He's trying to put points on the Elves because they need points. So okay, this wasn't done and handled very well. That square, he should be in this square, pushing him out, not pushing him in, because I want to stand in both these squares. Probably one of these squares as well, just to be really annoying. So I'm not a fan of that. Catcher there, just being annoying, just tagging out. And this is the blitz that we want to score with. And he makes the go for it, so he's now 7 squares away. Turns out I can count on turn 15, just not on about turn 9. So that's fine. Wasn't sure about that as a move. Was thinking about whether or not he was chain. You could push him out, chain push him, but I think Sharpie, I'm assuming you're just playing a little bit loose at this point, on the basis that the result's done. You're just trying to level up players, right? So, question is, can we push someone on the ball? No. Okay. So, can we push someone out of the way to get a knockdown? No. So can they then stand this guy up to cancel that out and blitz here to push on the ball, and hopefully the ball comes over here somewhere to get the knockdown? No. I've had a lot of luck throughout the game. So all we need now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4 plus, 2 plus, 2 plus, score. So 4 plus is 50%, and then you need 2 2 pluses. So you're probably looking at about 35% probably here. We don't get it. That's fair enough. It's a shame, because it would have been nice to get dodge on this guy as well. But the scatter for him is awful. 5 tackle zones. So can the ball bounce somewhere useful? That's now in 2 tackle zones. Frees this guy up. Is he actually in scoring range? I didn't see. Yeah, with a double GFI he can score. Now he's obliged to throw a 1 dice block here to push through, and unfortunately he doesn't get it. So hard line Sharpie. Overall, I think that it obviously went extremely well for me. Sharpie actually commented during the game and he thought that I didn't have that kind of block dice. I think they went all right for me. 11 armor breaks for me and 8 armor breaks for him, so it tells a story. So let's have a quick look at the actual stats. We threw 45 blocks and he threw 37, which is surprising considering he's got frenzy, so that will be buffing that number. He's also got block, so you'd expect the armor breaks to be higher. We did manage to get 7 passes into that game, although it didn't feel like it at the time. 2 injuries, so he absolutely cranked up the star player points. And the Overlord actually ends up picking up the MVP here. So all 3 positionals level with 2 random linemen picking up random throws as well. So it's 25 star player points. An absolutely phenomenal effort from the High Elves. Just showing that what can happen when a game plays out in your favour. So that concludes the first game. So if you enjoyed that, leave a like and subscribe. We are streaming now in pretty much a normal streaming schedule, so if you want to come and join us live and come and say hello, that'd be fantastic. We're on Twitch TV /Andy Davo. Typically we can be found on Tuesday evenings from about 7 o'clock UTC+1, Saturday mornings from about 10 AM for about 5 hours, and then on Sunday evenings, which is the big show of the week, from about 5 o'clock in the evening. The times change a little bit week to week, but broadly speaking they're the same. There will also be links to our Discord server, our Facebook page, in the comments below, so if you're interested and want to come and talk to us, you can do so, and I reply to each and every Discord message I'm sent with regard to the game. So thank you very much. Hopefully this series plays out really well, and we'll see you next time, folks. Cheers.